Hello guys, and welcome back to Joe's Ventures, and today we're going to be doing another episode of Planet Zoo. We're going to be looking through all the wonderful new, incredible animals that have come in the Aquatic pack. But first, I just really want to have a look at the crocodile swimming around. No, that's not what we wanted here. I want to just look how beautiful this is. Watching our animals swim about. I'm just going to let this play for a moment. So yeah. The big thing about this update, since it's the Aquatic pack, there's been a lot of animals that have been had diving added to them, and the animal from the base game that's first to get this treatment is the saltwater crocodiles. So the saltwater crocodile can swim around underwater fine and use all this wonderful new enrichment. Even got a couple babies in here. We'll have a look at them swimming about. I think it just looks amazing. I love it so much. Look, little baby croco, so cute. And his mum down there, and his dad. His dad's been using enrichment. Might be able to. Just love seeing them able to swim about. Just look how wonderful that is. It really brings like a whole nother level of immersion into the game. Plus, that's what everyone's been asking for. Is going for a nice swim. Jesus, so love it so much. Ooh. So you can just sit and watch them all day. Perfect for the people that really love to make underwater viewing, so they'll actually like go down to the water and use it now. It's just really nice. I'm not using the enrichment yet, but yeah, I think we'll move on to babies a little bit, and then we'll have a look at the first animals of the pack. This cute little baby croco. I really love how they did the crocodiles in this game. So well detailed. Awesome. Oh no, we've got a dangerous animal that escaped. Caiman got out. Uh-oh. We'll have a look at him soon. Okay, so we're going to start off with the Diamondback Terrapin. We're going to have to get into our Alt F2 view for that. So look at that. Again, then have a look in here. So we can see a little one there. Ooh, see if we can get a little bit closer. Get a good view. There we are. It's really finicky, this. But one sitting in the corner there, clearly not having a problem. So cute. Let's see if we can find the others. Must be hiding around the enrichment. So there's one there. So cute. Really wonderful little boys. Let's see if we can get a buzzy look at one of them. The little one there. Really finicky, the left two. So we can get a good look at one. There we are. We'll take a look at this awkward one. Okay, so the Diamondback Terrapin is a species of terrapin that's native to like coastal marshes and brackish waters that are found in the eastern and southern United States. So we've got another American animal. Really awesome. They can be found. They're one of the largest turtles in North America. And the largest ranges, actually, not largest sizes, one of the largest ranges. They can be found in the Florida Keys and around Cape Cod. So they're a very wide-ranging species. And they've got this very interesting diamond-like pattern which adds on as they grow. It looks really awesome. See if you can get a nice look from above. So look, you can see there those funny little patterns. It looks really wonderful. There's a way to... There we are. That's better. Okay, so these guys are just really awesome little guys. There's about 7 subspecies, even though a lot of them will probably be lumped. And the interesting is a Bermuda population that was introduced by humans, but it's actually related to a population from the Carolinas. So there's introduced there by people. So I mentioned. So adult diamond terrapins mate in early spring, and they have clutches about 4 to 22 eggs laid in sand dunes, and then they hatch in the late summer and early fall. Males reach maturity at about 2 or 3 years old at about 4.5 inches or 110 millimeters long, And it takes a little bit longer for females since they need to be bigger and a little bit healthier to breed, since they also live a little bit longer as well. They takes longer for them, about 6 or 7 years, and in northern 8 to 10, and can reach a length about 6.75 inches, 171 millimeters. Slacker reptiles, they lay eggs, they lay them in the sand, and they also, like a lot of other reptiles, have a temperature-determined sex. So if it's warmer or colder, it may get male or female depending on what particular parameters they are for the species. And the eggs usually hatch about 60 to 85 days, depending on the temperature and the depth, and they usually move around August, September, but may overwinter in the nest after hatching. They're very cool little guys. These guys can feed on pretty much anything. They feed on fish, crustaceans, worms, clams, mollusks, mussels, pretty much whatever they can. Insects, sometimes even a little bit of algae. So they're very, very generalist in that diet and kind of eat just whatever they can. Very interesting little guys. In the 1900s, they were actually almost hunted to extinction in a lot of areas, especially in coastal areas, because of propellers and all the wounds they would get. Also being hunted. They're classified as near threat now, but they have decreased populations. So that's why they're considered a threatened species or a species of concern. So a lot of the main threats that these guys have is humans encroaching on the range, because obviously they live in coastal areas. A lot of coastal areas will have a lot of people, and it leads to pollution, boats, destruction of the salt marshes, which is a very devastating thing for them. They also get eaten by a lot of birds, especially hatchlings, like from raccoons, foxes, rats, a lot of birds, gulls. And even in when back in the 18th century, when they were so plentiful, a lot of people would just eat them. They would be like a terrapin would be like $2 at the time, which is equivalent to $75 today. And they were pretty much harvested. They were almost like a delicacy historically. And they're actually the official state reptile of Maryland. So that's a cool little thing. I really love these little guys. It's kind of, everyone's like kind of like, oh, they don't swim around properly, but I think it works fine, the exhibit animals that we have. I think they look very nice. I think they're cute. I think they're very cute. Honestly, the exhibit animals not moving around doesn't bother me that much, because knowing reptiles, especially having one myself, they kind of just sit around a lot of the time. It doesn't really bother me too much. It's really wonderful. I love these little guys. I just wish the terrariums were a little bit more interactive and designable. They're very cute though. Very, very cute. Okay, so that's enough about the terrapins. Let's get into the caimans. Now, caimans are probably one of my favorites of this pack, honestly. So let's have a look at these little caimans. Find a nice adult. Yeah, there's an adult caiman. So we are. This is the Cuvier's Dwarf Caiman, which is a small crocodile from the alligator family that's found in North and Central South America. They can be found in Bolivia, Brazil, Ecuador, French Guiana, Guyana, Peru, and Venezuela, to name a few. They live in riverine forests around like flooded forest habitats near fast-flowing rivers and streams. They can traverse dry land to reach temporary pools and tolerate colder water than other caiman. So that's interesting. They also have other common names such as a musky caiman, Cuvier's caiman, or just dwarf caiman. And there was the smooth front caiman was another common name, but that was added to another species that was split from these guys. And these are very, very interesting little guys. They were discovered by George Cuvier in 1807, in one of two species, the other species being the smooth-fronted caiman. They're not the biggest, they're actually one of the smallest crocodilians, the smallest in fact. They usually get averaging about 1.4 meters or 4.6 feet for males and 1.2 for females. Males get slightly bigger. They also only typically as adult weigh about 6 to 7 kilos, but they lack in size. They have a lot more of a powerful body armor, which you can see here. It helps compensate for their smaller size, and they pretty much just eat what they can. Very, very interesting little guys. They pretty much eat anything they can. Fish, amphibians, small mammals, crabs, shrimp, whatever, really. See the baby there, so cute. And they're actually considered a keystone species because they maintain a lot of balance between other organisms such as piranha. And if you take the caimans out, often piranhas will take over the environment. Though adults can be preyed on by jaguars, anacondas, and other large boa constrictors, the young are often more susceptible to birds, snakes, rats, raccoons, and other mammals. So they can be preyed on by a lot of things. Adults tend to be safe unless you're a jaguar or a green anaconda. And what's really weird, they're the only species that are believed to not perform the death roll, which is a very common thing a lot of crocodilians do. They seem not to do it, though there may have been circumstances, depending on the research, they just might not really feel like it for the researchers. So there's a lot that we still need to learn about this caiman. So these caiman were hunted a lot for their skins, like a lot of other crocodilians, since they have very nice skins, of course. And they're also killed for food. Their populations were dwindling, but it seems like they're doing okay now. They're listed as least concerns, so they're doing fine. The populations have been estimated about over 1 million individuals, so they tend to be doing okay. But of course, with the Amazon being burnt and cut down, it's not sure how long that's going to be, so it's very important to conserve areas where these animals live, since they can help regulate ecosystems. So this is a wonderful one. I really love how it came out. It looks so good. Let's have a look at the baby. Little baby. Look at you, little baby boy. I like your little face. I really like how they did these caimans. They came out super well. I really want a 3D model of one of these, like printed out. It just looks so nice. Almost like a real animal. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So yeah, wonderful little guys. And next we've got another South American animal. We got a lot of South American animals in this pack, which was awesome. And we got one American. So here we have got giant otters. Now let's have a look at these guys. We'll have a look at the babies soon. Look at these wonderful big boys. So they're a South American carnivorous mammal, and they're the longest member of the weasel family, so the longest mustelid. They can reach about 1.7 meters long on average, but they can get a little bit longer than that. They can get about 2 meters long for a big individual. And what's really weird is that these guys are very, very social. So they can live up to groups of 3 to 8 members, which these groups are centered around a dominant breeding pair, kind of like wolves. So they have a dominant breeding pair, and they kind of control everything. And even though they are generally peaceful, they can be quite territorial. These guys range across North and Central South America. They live mostly in the Amazon River and Pantanal, but have been wiped out a lot through their range. So we'll just talk about more about there. Mentioned the social group. They live in clans. They build dens on the riverbanks where they often sit and have their pups. So it's quite cute. I like how they're running around. Look at it go. They're going to go in the water. We're going to go. So the mother gives birth in these dens near the river shore and kind of comes up and feeds them and takes them there. They're also very sensitive to human activity when rearing their young, so they haven't been able to really raise, unless the parents have privacy, no captive really, otters really taking care of their babies well. And these guys are apex predators in their ecosystems, and they're very important for, they're sometimes called keystone species as well, or even like a canary in the coal mine. Like the health, these species are really important for telling the health of ecosystems in general. Look at the cute little baby over there. We'll have a look soon. They tend to hunt whatever they can: piranhas, catfish, cichlids, even just eat what they can. They can be opportunistic. They've been known to even take, as groups, they mob on caiman and anacondas, and also crabs and snakes. And there's even like a report of them taking down a juvenile black caiman, which is a big caiman that's like comparable to an American alligator in size, probably a bit bigger. So they just did a really good job of getting rid of them. Look at you, aren't you wonderful? I love watching them swim around. Look at that. Use enrichment. Look at that. You'll be happy. Wonderful guys. So these guys are found in rivers across everywhere. Quite cool. They're quite endangered They have been considered vulnerable, but then they were considered endangered. So poaching is a very serious problem for them because of their pelts. And the 1980s, you could get as high as for pelts from a giant otter would go up to $250 US dollars. And the most recent problems, though, has been habitat degradation because of obviously the cutting down of Amazon, and a lot of these river and habitat forests that they need have been cut down, especially for like opening up for farming and all sorts of things open up for land. It's very, very a big issue for them sometimes. What are you morphing into there? We'll grab another otter then. So we're quite happy. Ooh, Dobson. Haha. I love seeing these guys swim. So these guys have actually lost 80% of their South American range. They're still present in a bunch of countries. They have a lot of local extinctions, so their population is kind of very discontinuous. So that'll probably change if a lot more conservation efforts are put into creating corridors and releasing them into areas where they used to be native. So the population estimated of 2006 has been between 1,500, 5,000 otters. So it's very possible that there's not that many giant otters left, and the population does need some serious help, since they're considered endangered. The really, really big stronghold for them now is the Guaduanas, or however you pronounce it, and they are pretty much the last stronghold of these otters yet, where they have extensive forest habitat for them. So yeah, hopefully these guys do better as well as people start protecting and rewilding habitats. These are really cool guys. You can't really hope these guys don't go extinct. They're too cute, especially little babies. Look at them. There's a little, ain't he adorable? I really like how they nail the otters. They have like these giant otters have like a weird like short bulldog face, and I think they're kept perfect. But I don't blame you. You're a cute baby. Look at that one shaking his butt. Ooh, he pooped. I think they're very cute. They're very cute in an ugly way, giant otters, I think. Because you think about the smaller otters, they're like really little and cute. These guys have got really like snug faces. I think it's cool you got two animals from South America as well. Let's watch a little bit more than swimming while we wait. Bobbing up. They're not having any issues. Happy boy. Look at that face. Did a very good job. Let's see if we can speed that time a little bit so we can let it get up. There we are. Ooh, grew up. We'll get a chance. Look at this one. Sleepy, sleepy, sleep. I want to get one moving around. Not really moving around, are they? Oh well, let's still get a good look at these cute guys. Maybe you should buy the pack yourselves. It's really a worthwhile pack. Probably the best one in the game so far. So yeah, that's the giant otters for you guys. So now let's move on to the king penguin. Everyone's favourite. What look we got here? I don't know what's not good. They don't be fun. So they breed like rabbits, these penguins. Let's have a look. Look at these little round boys. So here's the adults here. I think they're going to do a feeding animation. Oh no. So these are the adults here. This is, I think, that's a male. These are little. Look at the little baby ones. They got little round pills. They're so fluffy. Adorable. These guys are mating. And fighting. Oh, slap. I like seeing these guys. These are king penguins. So they're the second largest species of penguin, only second to the emperor penguin, which is a close relative. They're about like 25% smaller, so they're about a quarter smaller. Ew, poopy, yuck. And there are two subspecies. That's one, Patagonians, which is found in the South Atlantic, and Hati is found in the South Indian Ocean, so that's found around like a lot of the islands. These guys eat a lot of krill, lambton fish, and squid, and they've been reported to dive over 100 meters on repeatedly on normal trips, fishing trips, and been reported depths greater than 300 meters, so that's about 1,000 feet deep. And these guys are very susceptible to predators like petrels and such. Look at you stretching your neck out. Let's see if we can get one swimming, or one feeding its baby. There's one swimming. Look at all of them swimming. Oh, a bit of jump. Haven't seen that before. I want to see them porpoising. That'd be fun, seeing them all shoal together. Haven't really seen that yet. So these guys stand about 70 to 100 centimeters tall, so about a meter tall, and weigh up to between 9.3 and 18 kilograms. That's a big bird. So males are also slightly larger than females, and at first glance they do really look like a lot like emperor penguins, but emperor penguins have a lot more of a orangish tinge to them, and they're a little bit bigger. And they obviously breed on these like offshore Antarctic islands, where they can sit and they have to share them with a lot of species of other penguins and also seals and stuff. Chilling, happy pengu. So they breed in some subantarctic islands between 45 and 55 degrees, the northern reaches of Antarctica, as well as the Falkland Islands and other temperate regions. Their populations are estimated at the moment to be about 2.3 million pairs and increasing, so that's good. The large breeding population has about nearly 455,000 pairs, so that's almost a million. There's a few others on different islands. And they can be found vagrant on places like South Africa, Australia, New Zealand. There's even one called Happy Feet that a few years ago that came in and was sick and was at the hospital in New Zealand. That was a really fun story. So these guys are often very susceptible to predation from giant petrels and scooter species, which take chicks and stuff. Kelp gulls and snowy sheathbills often scavenge on their carcasses of young or unattended eggs, and leopard seals and orcas have been known to chase and kill these penguins, along with Antarctic fur seals. So these guys, similar to emperor penguins, they kind of lay one egg and then they share it and help grow up over the months. They'll take turns taking in and take turns coming in and grabbing a fish from the ocean. And it's quite cute. I want to see if you can see one feeding its baby. I just think the little baby ones are so funny looking. Let them waddle about. So cute. And they swim about like that. Going back in the water. So these guys are also very susceptible to climate change because of the Antarctic waters. Since they're so cold, that's where they're so rich in sea life, since the colder water's better at holding nutrients. So as the earth warms up, there's not going to be quite as much nutrient in water, so they're at risk of climate change and competing with obviously fisheries. And they've considered least concern, but their population has been increasing at least, so they aren't really too much issue. And they're very common in captivity. They can be found in zoos across the world, like Detroit Zoo, SeaWorld Orlando, Melbourne Aquarium, Cullitons in New Zealand. Quite a common and interesting bird species. And I love these big colonies. It'd be cool if we got like gentoos as well. And I just want to watch them swim. I love watching them swim. Look at that. think there's still a bug. I had like a divider in the middle here, and the penguins keep swimming into the, even though there's a divider on the wall. So I think there might be a bug that needs fixing. These guys just look so wonderful, so awesome to see them swimming about. Really makes use of those underwater exhibits. So awesome and so cool. Love it very much. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, so I think that's it for penguins, unless we can find one feeding its le baby. That might be it. I don't know. They do it though. I just need to find it. See if I can speed up time and watch it. Do it? Look at it fuss and waddle. I think we'll not worry about it. Wonderful little guys. Look how they sleep. Sleepy, sleepy, sleep. Yeah, king penguins are probably one of the coolest additions so far. Not everyone wanted penguins, and we got a pretty good penguin. So epic. And now, last but not least, we have got the grey seal. And look over here. We can see parents in there, but look at this little baby. Isn't that a cutie? A little white boy. Sea doggo. So cute. And the cool thing is that for both the penguins and the seals, the babies don't swim in the water. Because if they did that, they would probably die because they'll lose too much heat. But here's an adult grey seal, clearly having a good time swimming around in here. Nice big area for them. And they have variations within their colours, which is colour morph patch, and they just look so awesome. I love it. So these guys are found on both shores of the North Atlantic Ocean. They are a large seal. They are referred to as true seals or Ella seals, and the early members of their genus. They can get quite big. They can reach about between 1.5 and 2.3 meters long and weigh between 170 and 310 kilos. The cows are much smaller, about 1.6 to 1.95 and 100 to 190 kilos, with individuals from some populations getting up to 8 feet long and as much as 400 kilos, but these are extreme individuals. So these guys can be found in United Kingdom, Ireland, also Lincolnshire. In the Western Atlantic they can be found in Canada, Quebec, New England, Massachusetts, around there. Archaeological evidence confirmed they lived in southern New England and may have been extirpated from there by people. And there's an isolated population that lives in the Baltic Sea, which is pretty cool. And these guys feed on a wide variety of different things. They also feed on fish, sand eels, herring, cod, skates, even octopus and lobsters are common food. They need to eat about 5 kilos about a day, but they do not feed every day, and they fast during some seasons, so some days they probably eat a lot more than that. Just kind of eat what they can, really. Really wonderful, cute little boyos. So awesome to see them swim. They really did a good job with these animals. Communication. So these are very, very interesting. They slap their fins as communication, the flippers. And it's really interesting clapping. Usually the clapping that you kind of see as zoos, but they never really seen it in the wild, but they actually find that they may have actually do that in the wild. It just hasn't really been observed. So when they breed, they kind of just build up lots of blubber, and they have a single pup every year, with the female's reproductive years beginning at about 4 years old and extending up to 30 years old. So all parental care is provided by the female, so the males kind of just do their own thing, but the females have to take care of the baby. The babies, or the pups that are born, which these sort of very cute boys born before, they get born at about a mass of 14 kilos, and they're born in around September, December, and in the Eastern Atlantic in winter, about January, February in the West, and they have this very, very soft white coat that you can see over here. Let me grab it again. Let's see where it is. Must have grown up. Where? No, there's one here. Sleepy boy. Look at those fat rolls. I'm gonna cuddle it. But yeah, that's what they usually look like. And yeah, they precocial. That means the mother has to come in and out of the sea and feed them, and then have to duck back until they're old enough to be able to swim themselves. And their status is that they nearly were hunted to extinction almost, because they were hunted for oil, meats and skins in the US. And their sightings began to increase in the 1980s, so kind of a lot of the seals probably either swam over from the other side of the Atlantic, or just the release of hunting allowed their populations to go back up. So they were protected, and then populations started to grow up back again. So the seals numbers have been increasing a lot in America. And one thing that really affects them a lot is human noise pollution. It affects a lot of marine species, because it's hard to communicate and use sonar when there's lots of human noise. And they are protected in most of their range, and their populations are increasing somewhat, so that's good. So yeah, they're very, very, very awesome, guys. I really like these seals. Look at that. Look at your silly face. It's so cute. There's another one here. See the variations with them. I think they really benefit from that, since there's a lot of variation. Look at that little one go. Go! You can do it, buddy! Go, go, go! Hoppity, 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 hop. So cute. Look at this little guy. That's a good way to end the episode. So yeah, I'm just really loving this pack. There's nothing really too much wrong with it. It's just, other than a few bugs and such, like as most games have, and especially new releases, I just think this came out perfectly. I really love the new animals and additions. It's a really good, like, yearly DLC, a really nice big addition. And I know a lot of people complain, oh, we're only getting 5 animals per pack, but we're getting them once every 3 months. So if we compare that to Zoo Tycoon, you have 20 animals every year. So this, we're pretty much getting 20 animals every year. We get 15 habitat animals and about 5. It's not perfect because obviously the Arctic pack didn't have enough terrarium species, but you get about 20 species per year. So it's basically the same what happened with it happened in Zoo Tycoon 2. So I think a lot of people need to stop complaining about the DLC. I think the DLC are small and good, especially come with all these different building packs and such. I think they look awesome. Oh, I love these guys so much. He's sleepy. These jetties are cool as well. And you can see them spy hop as well. We can see if we can spot one come up. We also see the updated the water a bit. You can see that it's probably should have pointed that out before, but we can see it's a lot clearer than it was. It's a lot nicer. But yeah, I think this is a good time to end the episode. Really good look at all these animals. So yeah, I really, 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 really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys like and subscribe. And always remember, if you want to make sure to keep up to date with all my videos, you go click that little bell icon at the bottom, and so you get notified when I upload something. So yeah, really hope you guys enjoy this video. You guys like and subscribe, and bye-bye.